Hi,
Happy
Deb.
Tuesday.
Oh, I got in there.
That's right.
We'll check the tape, but I'm pretty sure I said hi, Deb, before you said the other thing.
I bulldozed you right over on that.
Can I tell you something? I almost did this, but I'm like, I'm not going to do it this time because I just don't feel like putting the effort in. Not that it would have required a lot, but obviously the last episode we did, I wasn't present, but you and Nicole and Kaylee and you were all three co-hosts for Kenny and Log Off Brewing. You started it off by saying happy Tuesday and you giggled, which made me very upset. I think it was more so the giggle afterwards because I knew what that meant. And I'm like, I should delete this, remove it from the episode, and then put it like a little message right there saying, hey, I know what you did. I'm not going to let it happen. Because I had that kind of control. But you know, I chose not to. I chose to be the bigger person. And I just complained here in my office as I edited it
By yourself.
by myself.
Well, thanks. That was my intro. That's all I had.
That's all you ever have. I mean, it wasn't a surprise. I'm like, she's going to do it. Happy Tuesday. Like I said, it was the giggle that made me upset.
And the three of them were like, why is she laughing? I'm like, this is just how I intro now. I just say happy Tuesday.
Yeah. And now, so I have to just say something really quick and then, get it out there. Anyways.
You tried. I beat you.
What
Well,
is,
yeah.
why do you always have to wear some shirt that says something on it? Like, why can't you just wear like a normal shirt? Because what's it say? It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. You doing okay?
Today.
Seems like one of those shirts that you wear when you're in trouble.
I know, right? It's fine. Everything's fine. Today was I'm seriously questioning our future teenagers and adults of America. Today was about going over the rules. We went over the rules and they didn't follow said rules immediately after. It was just I'm very concerned.
I deal with that with toddlers. That's interesting how that works in both lanes, huh?
Just anyone who's listening, if you have teenage kids, I need some tips. I just don't even know I don't know how to fix them.
Or maybe you need some of those parents. Not all parents. I'm sure a lot of parents are great, but some of those parents that are maybe the root of the problem to step it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this sweater's fitting for today.
Okay. Like I said, it felt like one that was sending a message to yourself.
It was, well, I'm getting over a cold. I finally feel really good today. And my voice is almost back to normal, or it is back to normal, or whatever. And I can smell things and taste my food. It's just, I feel a lot better. But today, more so yesterday, but a little bit today at work, I just was not feeling good. And then we're trying to reteach rules and teenagers being teenagers. So the past couple of days have been so annoying. And so that's why I'm I have to wear my "It's Fine" shirt to remind myself it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. This is not, don't lose sleep over this. It's fine.
Just take a deep breath and keep moving on.
Inhale, exhale, inhale. Yes, exactly. So moving on.
There you go. I also want to mention one other thing, not that people will ever see this or need to know this, but I feel like it's worth saying. So because Deb recorded this last episode by herself and she had everybody in the same room, they didn't do video like we normally do, where we would post this on YouTube. It's still on YouTube if you want to listen to it, but don't expect any pictures or video because it won't be there. It's a still picture. And when she sent me the file, usually when I get the video, it's the video. But when you don't have a Zoom video and it's just like the still shot, it's Deb's profile picture, which I don't think I've ever seen before. And it really threw me off. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, it's because I have a work account and I have a personal account, and I just used my personal account. I don't even know. It must have been because the picture on it is like a selfie of me from I don't know, 7 years ago. It's not new. It's fairly old. And I don't even remember putting it on there. I don't remember how it got on. I don't remember it being a thing. I just know that it's there. And I'm like, okay, so when I turn my camera off, this is what pops up. So that's what happened. Cause I didn't have the camera on because okay, we're not going to record. We're not, it's not on YouTube. So camera off, record. And so, yeah, just my face is a selfie.
Okay. Well, just so
8-year-old Deb is on there.
Everything you can just basically ignore everything she just said because it doesn't really matter. Because like she said, she has her personal account her school account and what I'm going to call her catfish account, because this picture looks like something that someone would use. Like, I feel like I've gotten this bot before in my DMs on Instagram. Like, this picture looks very familiar. I'm not convinced it was actually Deb. And so I was very hesitant on clicking the links or anything like that, because I'm like, this looks like something I would get sent,
You know what it
from
is?
a catfishing account. So you can say whatever you want, but
It's my
that's what it
Google.
reminded me of.
I'm looking at it right now because I could see in my browser. It's my Google account, picture account. I just have never changed it. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, whatever you want to say is fine. Um, that's just the first thought. And it's a nice picture. But I mean, something about it, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the look, because you're kind of like looking sideways.
I always turn my head to the side.
That's where the distrust comes. I'm like, something about this lady, it can't be trusted. And so now here's the bad part, because that was the thumbnail on the video. When I put it into Final Cut, like, I saw the thumbnail in the corner, it was across my screen. Then I saw the file, like, your face was all over my computer, but just that picture. You know what I mean? So really
Yes.
creeped me out. It's like, this person's really coming after me. It was like a virus was on my computer.
It's just like popping up everywhere. My face.
Yeah. So, anyways, there you go. But yeah, I now, just so everybody knows, I'm not calling her out right now. I immediately text her that after I got the file. I'm like, oh,
Oh, he sent me a screenshot. He's
I
like,
did
this
send her a screenshot.
right now. I'm like, oh, sorry, that's me.
Yeah. But she didn't have to apologize. Just know I'm not gonna fall for it. I should have asked like a specific question, like, is this really Deb? How can I know? And I should have asked a question specific that I know only you would know.
It is a 28-year-old skinnier version of me. Yes.
Okay, well, I didn't say anything about that. I want to put that on the record. All right, well played, Deb. I didn't say anything about her weight.
They're coming for you now.
Yeah. How dare you? Like, no, it wasn't her. It wasn't her weight. I didn't say anything about that. I didn't say anything about her age either. So I'll make that very clear. So, all right. Well, let's move on. Can I say, if you guys follow us on Instagram, I posted a video that I took some time to record. And then I put on our stories to say, hey, we're doing our Halloween episode in a couple weeks, which last year we dressed up. And we got no responses.
I
People,
got none either.
no responses. It's a free pass. You could say anything that you want us to dress up as. Not that we're going to take your suggestion, but it's your time to take a shot. No one took a shot. I don't even know why I do social media. You know what I mean? Now, today, with our topic today, people came through.
I got a few.
People came through in a big way.
I've gotten many responses. I don't know, maybe people don't care what we are for Halloween, or maybe they like the surprise of us just showing up in whatever costume.
Or I go even broader, they don't care about our podcast, which is a fair point too. You know what I mean? I mean, after a few years, it's like, are we still interesting to these people? Do they still care? Are they still going to put up with the dumb stuff we say? I don't know. Maybe we've pushed it past where we should have gone. I don't know.
We have a few loyal followers still, I think, or listeners.
And
Friend of FOPs, I like to call them, friend of the podcast.
Yeah. Like FOP it seems like it could be something bad. I don't know. We should probably look that up before we continue on with that acronym.
What else it means.
It's like, what'd you call me? Like, oh, friend of the podcast? No. All right. All right. What do we? It's been a minute since we've talked, because last week I wasn't on the episode, and then the week before that, were you on with me, Deb?
I don't think I was on that one. So I think you and I have skipped out on being on the same episode for a few weeks.
You're right. It was Ashton. You weren't on that one.
Yes. Yep. I wasn't.
So okay. As you can tell,
it's been a minute. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Actually, there's a video I need to send you, because it reminded me of us on this podcast. It's a very funny video, and just something about it seems like, it seems like this would be us if it was a working situation rather than just a fun hobby. So I'll send it to you later.
Send it to me later.
Yep. Cool. Deborah, what are we talking about tonight?
This one is, like I told you earlier, this was very close to being a pet peeves episode with the direction it was going, but it's not. There's a difference, and we'll explain it, or maybe not. But I don't know how to. There's a difference. Yes, I don't know how to word this exactly, and this is why I should never introduce topics or people or anything. That
was my fault. This is actually my idea. I'll intro it.
No, let
Yeah.
me try to say it
Okay.
first.
All right. Here we go.
This was your idea, and I thought it was good because I really had to think hard about it. I actually struggled coming up with things because I kept wanting to make it a pet peeve, but it's not. So we're doing top five, but it's top five of give me a second. Top five things that we don't get or understand that other people are fascinated with.
Yeah.
Did I say
That's
that?
pretty good. It took us a minute to get there. We took a lot of back roads to get to that destination, but we finally made it.
How do you say it? How do you phrase it?
Yeah. So, yeah, you basically said it perfect. It's basically things that we just don't get, things
Mhm.
that people love. People are fascinated by these things. And for some reason, I just can't get on board with it. I just don't understand the fascination. And even for myself, I had to draw. There's a couple of things that I don't like, but I understand why people like it. Like I don't like country music at all. I'm like a step away from hating country music. Like
Over
I'm
here
not quite
going,
there.
I go to country line dancing bars, so we're
I'm
good.
very aware. I've seen the videos, and I'm like, well, that's fine. I don't have to listen to it. So it's not my thing. I don't like it, but I very clearly understand why people love country music. There's part of me that wonders why I don't, because it seems like there's elements of it that I would love. I cannot get into it. I've tried, can't do it. But like I said, I understand why people do. So it's not one of those things where I just don't get it. Like I understand that. There's other things where it's like no matter how much I think about it, I'm like I just don't understand why people enjoy this. But that's basically the topic that we're going with tonight.
Yes. And then and at the I don't know if you want to do this at the end or not, but at the end we
Yeah.
have I want to share the responses that I got from my story and or just from friends in general who texted me or told me what they thought about some topics.
Yep. And
We'll
we
do
got some of the DMs as well. So and some
okay.
from some new people that have never mentioned anything on the podcast, and I think are fairly new followers of our Instagram. So it's very exciting.
Exciting. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to start or if I should start, but I need to preface by I probably could have picked better ones if I had more time to think about it truly, but I have what I have. That's all I'm going
Okay.
to say.
Yeah. I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. So my first one is I don't really understand why uh, anybody would waste their time with massage therapy. I think
Giving or receiving?
uh, I'm not going to answer that question because
You
I
like
think
massages?
I'm joking. No, I actually intentionally put that first because before we get this thing started, I do want to give you a moment to talk about your massage therapy business, which you just started. So go ahead. Just before we jump in, I'm like, I want to try this. Thank you for laughing because it could have been a huge flop. But no, I understand the benefit of massage therapy, giving and receiving. So, um, and that's as much as I'm going to say about that.
I'm gonna grill you. Do I get to plug here? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Okay.
I waited to do it right before we started. That way, I can get off that stupid joke. So, please, if anybody's been listening, Deb has mentioned the last month or two on our different podcasts that she's been going to massage therapy school, and just recently you announced that you are a certified
Nice.
massage therapist. So, tell us a little bit of the name, the business, all that stuff.
Yes, my business license is in process right now, but it is called Mermaid Therapy. Duh. If anyone knows me, it's very obvious. My friends are like, it's very fitting for you. And I'm like, of course it is. Um,
True.
and I don't really have a specific, if anyone out there is like, oh, I get massages all the time. What do you specialize in? I don't really have a specialization right now. A lot of people want Swedish or deep tissue or whatever, or cupping. But anyway, yeah, I'm a mobile business. So I travel to you at the comfort of your own home, which my friends have really enjoyed that when I practice on them because I go to them in the evening, I massage them and they go to sleep and I'm the one who has to pack up and drive home. So
There you
we're just
go.
like that. So
No more practice though, friends. Practice is over.
practice.
Pay up.
I'm charging now.
I'm just kidding. I don't care what she does.
But obviously it's I can't in the Sacramento area, so I don't know who's listening or where you are. But yeah, it's a mobile massage business, and right now I'm only doing evenings on the weekdays because of course I got my day job that takes up my whole time. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's all there is to say about that. I'm really, really excited about it. I like helping people relax. I didn't realize how important massage was until I actually went to massage school. It just, the whole thing fascinated me. So I was like, let me give it a try. Let me see if I even, if I like it or whatever. And then in that process, I receive massages. So we have partners and we go back and forth. And I can tell you that when I would on massage weekends or days or whatever, I would sleep so good that night. Every single time, because I would get a massage, or receive and give a massage, but
Sure.
I would have the best sleep ever. So
Awesome.
yeah. So anyway, mermaid on Instagram, it's at mermaid.therapy. So yeah.
Awesome. So definitely give her a follow, especially if you're in the Sacramento area. Give her a follow. We know on here that she worked super hard to get there. So congrats to you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to
Thanks.
say, like, I did not work hard. I'm like, well, okay. There's that little pause there. I'm like, okay, she's about to derail everything I said. Um, so yeah, so make sure you guys follow her. And it's been cool too, because recently she's been posting just like little, almost like fun facts, I guess you would call them, about massage and the different kinds of massage and stuff like that. So definitely make her hard work pay off, and go at the very least, go give her a follow and like some posts, share it, do all that stuff, especially if you're a listener of this podcast. That'd be a cool thing, because like we always talk about, our goal is to help people get connected. So why not? What better way to get connected with someone than helping out the co-host of this podcast? So, and I also want to say too, and I hope this has not happened yet, Deb, but any guy out there who plans on booking Deb for a massage, don't even think about bringing Taco Bell, because we know what that's code for. Don't do it. Go ahead.
You got to tell them what episode to go back and listen to know what we're
They don't.
referring
They don't. They don't need to know. They know what that means. We know what Taco Bell means on this podcast.
to.
Unless Deb's hungry, then I guess she wants Taco Bell. Sure.
Oh my God.
All right. Anyway,
No Taco Bell, please. But I do have to give my friend Kaylin a shout out, because she helps me manage my mermaid therapy page. I obviously am not that great about pushing like stuff and like business stuff. Like I am not good at selling myself. I'm just not good at it. And Josh is smiling because I do my best on promoting our podcast, but I don't do a great job.
I've known this
So
for 4 years, 4+ years.
but Kaylin, it's her little, she's helping me, and she's it's a little like thing she likes to do right now. So she's helping me with that. So it's thanks to Kaylin that I'm getting all those posts out too and stuff. So
Shout out, Kaylin.
yeah,
All right, cool.
she should be hired as a professional, like, I don't know, social media organizer or whatever, because she's really good. She's the one who created the logo for me.
Oh, very
So
cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great logo.
So anyway, yeah, blah blah blah.
There we
Like
go.
follow. There you go.
Yes, go follow it. Okay, now we'll do the real one. Okay, I will start with the real one. Massage therapy is great. My first one, I had a couple, so I had to narrow it down. And I'll start with the one that I sent you earlier as an example. And this kind of goes against my rule of, like, I understand why people like it, but at this point, it does make me curious. I don't understand why people enjoy reality TV. It's not something I've ever enjoyed, with the exception of maybe one or two competition type shows, but I don't even know if those are considered reality. I guess it's supposed to be real, right? And so that is the reality part of it. But if you're talking about anything, I mean, even going back to like when we were in high school, right? What was it? The Hills was huge. Is that kind of when we started in like high school, college?
Laguna Beach. Yeah.
Laguna Beach can kick rocks. Let me think. The Kardashians, I want no part of. Jersey Shore. I mean, whatever. And I know what I'm saying here. I know who I'm speaking to. I knew what I was coming into with this when I said this. But yeah, anything like that. The Bachelor. They got me a couple of years because they were doing like a March Madness style bracket. That was fun. But again, they introduced like a competitive element there. I'm trying to think, but yeah, I just don't like those shows. And I think what throws me off now, I understand early on why people love those shows, especially like when it first started, because it's like, what is this? It's like we're following their real lives, and then now I feel like it's become almost like a joke. Like I think everybody knows it's not really real. And there's certain things like, especially like The Bachelor, right? There's certain things that happen and have become like cultural jokes now. Same thing with like Survivor type shows or some of these different shows. Like there's these things that like we used to joke about the Amazing Race all the time, right? With at the Character Combine podcast. So all these different things, and I feel like reality shows have taken on this whole new thing, and because of that, I'm just shocked that people still love it as much as they do. But I feel like people love those shows. I can't get into it. Real Housewives, can't do it.
I have very few like reality shows that I was into back in the day and am still into now, kind of. It is not my go-to. I have some close friends whenever I go over, they want to put on a reality show, whether it's Married at First Sight or my 800-pound life, or what am I thinking of? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Anyway, like what's the fiance one where they like the
The
international
90 Day
90 Day
Fiance.
Fiance? Yeah, 90 Day
There's always
Fiance.
like a certain number of days in front of this,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
poundage, 800 pound. Yeah, life's
And I
tough.
have to admit, so like I would never like think to put those on, and I would never watch them here by myself. But like once I sit down, you get sucked in. You
Sure.
get So I see the appeal on some of them, but I'm not into it enough to where I would. My friends are like, oh, you have to watch Selling Sunset. You have to watch this. You have to watch that. And I think these days I just need like background noise as a TV thing. I can't, if I have to sit and focus and follow the storyline for, I just don't have time right now. So I think right now I'm just like, ugh. But when I go to their house and I have nothing else to do because I'm hanging out, I'm not at home, I got some
Sure.
free time. You get sucked in real quick.
Yeah.
it's
No, I mean,
it's the drama. Some people love the drama.
and as you know, that's not really my thing. I try to keep it,
Yeah.
drama free for the most part. So I think that's part of it where I can't relate to that part. And like I said, this is not me bashing anybody's TV viewing. If you enjoy it, good for you. I just don't understand how you can sit there and watch it. Now, I will say this: I got on vacations and different things that we've gone on. We've been with people, and they'll throw on something like that. Specifically, there was one. I think it's the one. I forgot the name of it. It's the one where he is. It's a guy. It's like a the polygamous relationship where the guy's got like
Sister
six
wives.
wives. What's it called?
Sister wives.
Sister wives. Thank you. They had an episode of that on, and I think part of the problem, and I don't think people enjoy watching those shows with me. And I'm gonna say Jordan too, even though I know Jordan watches a couple of the reality shows. If him and I are in the room at the same time, people really don't enjoy that viewing experience because we can't keep our mouths shut. And there's always some comment. I'm not invested, so I'm like dropping just grenades. Like I don't care. And that one specifically, I remember thinking, this is probably a bad idea. And sure enough, they turned it off after like 30 minutes. Like, we can't do this with him. It's too much because it's a ridiculous situation. And the fact that like, I don't want to follow this fool with his 5 or 6 wives. Like, they all hate his guts. He's complaining like, whoa, it's so difficult living this life. You chose that life, homie. You chose it. And hearing this man complain is like, I had to figure out how to get my 5 wives, 5 houses on this big piece of land. No one feels bad for you. You did it to yourself. You
Say the
chose a
wife.
bad lifestyle. And I'm sorry if anybody else has that lifestyle. It's tough. It's tough. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna say.
The wives came out on top on that one. They get their own house. They don't have to see him every night. They get to be like, you get him tonight. I'm just gonna stay in my big house.
And then yeah, it's all game. Like, it's all a ploy, right? And before he knows it, he's like in the middle of all these houses. Like, wait a minute, I've been kicked out of all 5.
Yeah, I mean, at first I thought like, okay, these women are getting scammed, but I think it's the opposite. I think the women are scamming him because
He
then
might be just too stupid to figure it out.
it just
He's treating it like a business meeting. He's like, I need to make everybody happy. Like, that's what you signed up for. I mean, what? And so that whole thing, I'm like, I don't know how why are we, I couldn't even take like 30 minutes of it. Like, that's it. I'm done. I can't take this more on.
like genuinely frustrated you.
You know what it was? It was like, and I think I've talked about some pet peeves. It was the complaining. It was like, the whole thing was him complaining. It's like, I'm so stressed.
Bad for you.
Huh?
You're like, no, I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry that you decided to take this to a TV show. your weird lifestyle? No, no, I'm not going to feel bad for you, sir.
Oh my gosh.
He's also setting himself up for potentially 5 different murder charges because that guy at any point could just one of those women could snap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about, I didn't realize you were talking about the wives because you're like, I was like, did I miss something? Is he
I
up for
see.
murder? And you're like, and then when you said five, I was like, oh, you mean like the wives?
I see how that was poorly worded. I accept that.
Like, wait a minute, you have the tea.
I'm saying he has the opportunity to get murdered by 5 different people. That's what I would say.
There
And
you go.
so,
Sure.
because that can't be an easy situation. But again, we're not here to talk about this guy. He's an idiot. So that's all I'm gonna say. And if you
Well,
disagree with that, I'm very sorry. Just skip this part of the podcast.
well, and this is a very like, we're not here to offend anyone, and if this is what you're into, that's cool. There's a lot of things that I'm fascinated with that, well, I'm not talking about sister wives, but I'm just saying like
No, no, no.
reality shows. Like, yeah, there are some things that I'm fascinated with that people don't like, and that's okay. So
No, I was gonna say to the broader point, like if you're offended by anything we said, I would love to know what other podcasts you listen to because this is not that offensive, in my opinion,
very
except
nice.
for maybe the Taco Bell episode. That one I understand.
I would love if people are offended. Go ahead, comment away, please.
It would be funny. Yeah, I know YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. We know you guys are offended by every little thing.
By me, because
Well, see, I think okay. Are we gonna say this? Yeah, sure. I think sometimes I feel like YouTube is offended by women. I'm just gonna say it because it seems like the clips that get the most hate is either Deb or on the occasion there's been a couple of our other female guests that they've just felt the need to comment. So
I mean, that could be it too. Because
just stop it, YouTube. All right. Anyways, this is not pet peeve. This is what you're right. This is going to turn into a pet peeve
I
episode.
know.
I don't like YouTube commenters. Go ahead.
Right. Okay.
What's yours?
So one of mine is that a lot of people love, but I personally am just like, this is the last thing I want to do. Strategic board games.
Oh,
So
okay. So can I jump in because we have one here in
yeah,
common? Can I say it?
yeah.
We'll combine this one together. I put specifically that game Settlers of Catan.
Okay, so I'm thinking of that one.
Kick rocks. Go ahead.
Because I attempted to play with friends years ago. I literally stared at the board. They explained the rules, they explained everything, and I stared at the board. And then when it was my turn, I literally said, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. What do I do? And they're looking at me and they're trying to help me. Pretty soon, I'm not playing. When it comes to my turn, someone's playing for me, and I just kind of walked away. I was just like, well, you guys got this. I got my wine. I walked away. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go in this room now. I just did not get it at all. I don't know. My brain doesn't work that way. I just want to play a simple Uno card game. I like games. It's not that I don't like games or board game or whatever. I think it's just board games, and especially the ones that you have to like think and strategize. The most hard thinking game I want to play is what is it called? Mexican dominoes. I think that's the
Okay,
most
sure.
strategic thing I ever want to do. Because let's be honest, I'm usually drinking wine or something or beer with my friends when we're playing this. And after a while, like I just can't. I just want to relax. I've been thinking all day and dealing with whatever it was I was dealing with at work. I don't want to think. I'm good. I'm cool. And so, no, strategic board games. Kudos. I guess I should kudos to you if you are down for a strategic board game at the end of the day, because I'm not.
Oh, people love them. I'm just gonna say this too, Deb. I feel like our friendship has not been tighter than this moment right here because I could not agree with everything you've said more. And here's the problem: as you know, I don't drink, so when these games are happening, I have to take the whole thing. Like there's nothing to numb me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just present the whole time. And yeah, no, Settlers of Catan specifically. Now, there's a couple, and I'll say this too. It depends on the company that I'm in because there's a couple of strategic board games that I'll play, but like you've got to be people that I'm real close with, that I enjoy being around a lot, to really play these games because they can get weird and intense. And I've settled on this for myself. And I'm not speaking for you, but for myself specifically, when it comes to these strategic board games, I'm not smart enough. I know that about myself. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I've accepted it. I feel good about myself, but I also understand my intelligence level is not up for a board game like that. I can't figure it out. I'm looking at the board too. like I said, and they explain the rules. I'm like, okay, it's like the Michael Scott thing. Okay, explain it to me like I'm 5 because I don't get it. But it's any games, and like you said, the Mexican dominoes. I'm not sure I can keep up with that one. When I like the games I like, I'm talking like I've never played it, but like Cards Against Humanity, Apples
Yeah.
to Apples, stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? Like where you can go for a laugh or something off the wall. That's more my speed because I'm not bright enough to play the other games. Like Hearts, the card game Hearts. I can't play that. You know how many times I've tried to play over the years? A lot. You know how many times I've done well? Hasn't happened yet. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like, I have some cards with hearts on them. What do I do with those? I don't know. So I'm 100% with you. So I'm glad you said that. We can, you know,
Put that
high
one.
five on that one.
Okay, good. We agree on that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand people like them and play. I just can't. I'm just like, do not. If we pull out, so like when my friends and I have like our girls' night and we're just having some wine and someone's like, "All right, who brought a game?" I'm always thinking, "Oh my god, I swear, if it's like a game where I have to think a lot, I'm out." But they're like, we're all the same, so they pull out a simple. We like Cards Against Humanity, or That's What She Said, or something
See?
silly,
Yeah.
or yeah, something simple. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I'm not, so they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to think either. But
Okay.
anyway,
That's good. Yeah.
that's
Depends on the
kind of
circle, man.
the first one.
Yeah. Some of those games
But
like
it's not a
Monopoly. Monopoly's tough. I
yeah.
enjoy playing Monopoly, like again, with a certain group of people, but I know how I'm not going to win. I know that. And then once people start making deals, I'm like, you guys are going to confuse me. I feel like that's part of the strategy. If you confuse Josh enough, we'll take him off the board. And that's usually what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Strategic board is out.
Yeah. But I can play fun games. Candyland. I'm down for some Candyland.
Yeah. Oh
I'm okay
yeah.
with that.
That
It's
is
got
fun.
colors and squares and candy. I can do that.
It is for a 5-year-old, so that's perfect.
100%. It's probably might still be too advanced for me. My kids
Yeah.
are just like doing circles around me. It's like, I don't know how to play. I can't keep up. So, okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page there. That was a late addition for me too. I added that one at the very end.
You did
So it was meant to be.
first one.
Okay.
So okay.
So how are we gonna do this? 'Cause I kind of hijacked
That's fine.
yours.
We'll just go. No, just do your next one.
Do my next one. Okay. Let's see. Where do I want to go with this one? Okay, I'm just gonna say it. This is a big one for me. And I feel like it's one of my probably the biggest one that I just don't understand. It's incredibly popular, and I feel like people go crazy over it. And I don't. I've had it. I don't get it. It's fine. It's not bad. It's just fine. Nutella. I don't understand the big deal about Nutella. It's like people are like, you can slap it on anything, put it on a piece of steak, a chip, a
Hey.
quesadilla. Like, I mean, just I feel like people get crazy. Like Nutella makes everything better. I'm like, if I never had Nutella again, which I haven't had it for years, I'm fine. Like when I first had it, I'm like, oh, this must be the most amazing thing ever. Let me get a taste of this glorious cream that you guys are talking about. And I tried it. I'm like, huh? This is what you guys are bragging about and going nuts about. This is crazy. This is nothing. And so it's like, again, if people enjoy it, that's fine. No judgment here. But just know if you say, like, oh my gosh, have you had this with Nutella? The answer is always going to be no. It's always going to be no because I don't have it. I haven't had it for a very long time and I'm not interested in ever having it again. And again, it's not even bad. It's not like I'm like, oh, this is gross. It's just like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's just not
You're,
that big of a deal.
you're just not impressed.
I'm not impressed.
Yeah. Um, well, yeah, because Nutella is sugar. Anything sugar is addicting.
It's not a problem for me. I just want to make that clear. I like sugar.
Do you not like hazelnut flavor? Is
I'm
that
fine
why?
with hazelnut too.
I don't know. I mean, I have I have shifted my diet, so I haven't had Nutella in a long time, but I had frozen yogurt tonight. It was so good.
Ooh, what
But
flavor?
I know. I'm so boring with frozen yogurt. I just get like vanilla. I had a vanilla flavor and I had a cookies and cream flavor, and then I just put caramel on top. That's it. I can't do too many toppings on frozen yogurt. You know how they have the topping bar and
Sure.
everything self-serve.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you actually you went somewhere to get the
Yeah,
frozen yogurt and
yeah,
you
yeah.
just and you didn't add anything to it.
Just added caramel sauce. Oh, and a little like a pirouette, like chocolate wafer thing. I just like stuck it in there. That's it. If I have too many toppings, it's like once I take a bite, I take 5 bites and I'm like, I'm done. I can't. I'm also the person, I know
Must
we're
be
diabetic.
nice. Don't have that problem.
We're diverting now. I've noticed every once in a while, if like I'm eating ice cream or whatever, like I take tiny bites. I don't know if it's because my teeth are sensitive, but I've seen people just freaking load up their spoon and just shove the ice cream in their mouth in one bite. And I'm like looking at them and I'm like, my teeth hurt for you. Like, oh my God, I can't do that. Like I have
Okay.
the tiniest little bites when I'm eating ice cream. So I just can't do it. I can't eat it. It'll take me like an hour to eat a pint if I'm going to pound a pint of ice cream. Takes me,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because I know what you're talking about. I've seen people do that too. It's like that seems excessive. Wait, is this a race? This is like Joey Chestnut hot dog eating competition. What are we doing? But no, I have a tough time because I can't do this. I must have like my front teeth must be sensitive because does it bother you when someone bites like a popsicle?
Yeah, I can't do that either. There's no way.
That when I see someone do that, that almost gives me the same feeling, not to the same extent, but almost the same feeling as when like someone crumples up like plastic,
Mm.
like like all like the wrapper off something, like that sound, that cringy sound,
Like nails on a chalkboard.
kind of the same type of thing, same type of thing. Yeah, it feels like that a little to me when I see someone do that. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
was that not painful? And they're like, oh, this is delicious.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but my teeth are really sensitive to cold now. The older I get,
Hmm.
I can't do it. I can't like, isn't it so sad? Like I'm just outing myself right now. Even when even if I've had fruit in the fridge and I'm cut and I try to eat it, I have to let it go to room temperature before I can eat it. It's so,
Interesting.
it's so sad. I have to use sensitive, I have to start using sensitive toothpaste is what someone told me.
You say Sensodyne?
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, you need Sensodyne. I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I
That
can't
would
do,
be a tough purchase at the store. Just
can't.
someone in someone in their mid 30s getting Sensodyne.
I need Sensodyne, my teeth.
I feel like my
But
grandma uses Sensodyne.
okay, sorry. Going back to why did we talk about this? Because of Nutella, is that why?
And the toppings. So I thought you were gonna say that you had frozen yogurt and you put Nutella on it. Like, oh man.
I
But you
know.
said it's been a minute since you had Nutella.
In a minute, right.
Okay.
And I used to love Nutella though. I was the same. I was like, oh my gosh, Nutella. Like I would just eat it like out of the jar. I
So
don't
what
know.
is it?
Flavor. I just liked the flavor. It was just because it was like a chocolate hazelnutty, not even I don't think it was like there's no peanut butter in it, I don't think, but it was just chocolate and hazelnut. Who doesn't? It's almost like okay, but I also like frosting, like the consistency of frosting. I'm the weirdo who will eat all the frosting off the cupcake and not eat the cupcake. So like,
My wife's like that.
okay, so
But she
that's
doesn't like cake though. Do you like cake?
I'll eat both, but I want more frosting than cake.
Okay. I do like frosting. Like I said,
Yeah.
sugar, it's not the sugary part. That's never been a problem for me.
But you just weren't impressed with Nutella. You were
I
just
wasn't impressed. It didn't, for me, there was a massive gap between what it was or what it is and the hype surrounding it. Because, like I said, I exaggerated a little bit, but I do know some people, and I've heard people talk about Nutella where it's like you can put it on anything and it's good. I don't think so. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I'll pass. It just doesn't pass that test for me. So, um, but like I said, it doesn't really add up for me either. Because I have no problem with hazelnut. I love chocolate, huge chocolate fan. But I was going to mention this. Uh, the other day when I did a video, it was actually the Halloween one. I did it at work, and I got a newer phone not too long ago, iPhone. I guess I haven't done a video on my phone before with this new phone because when I looked back at the video, it looks like it pulls out every single pore in my face. I'm like, what? How old am I? It looks like I just ate a whole jar or tub of Nutella and just like a middle schooler, just pop, 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 pimples everywhere. I'm like, what happened? I'm gonna say this. I looked at myself. I'm like, that is an ugly man. I don't know who that is. Maybe I actually look like that and no one's ever told me. And somehow I still got a wife. I don't know how it happened because if she saw this, she thought I was an extra on Pirates of the Caribbean. That's what my face looked like. It was awful. And so I found a filter app where I could correct the video because I'm like, that is not what I look like.
It was
I showed my wife and she's like, oh my gosh. I said, I told you. I was like, my pores look so big, Deb. Like someone could dunk a basketball through it. That's what it looked like. Like this video is awful. And like they just create like it's like it created like blotches on my face that aren't there. That aren't there. And so then when I touched it up a little bit, I didn't do like a full filter where it was like, I look like a model. But I'm like, this looks normal. And she's like, yes, your face looks like this. The other thing, I don't know what happened.
That is
So
so.
that
What
being said,
iPhone
I like sugar.
is it, the iPhone 15, the new one?
I think so. Is that the
I think
newest one?
yeah, because
14 or 15? It's one of the two.
I have an 11 and I just finished paying it off, so I'm getting all these notifications like traded in for a 15. And I'm just like, man, I kind of like having not having a phone payment though.
It's so nice. I'm see, we are old. This is an old conversation. I don't like my phone payment. I'm gonna go pick up some Sensodyne. Board games confuse me. I don't like to tell her.
This
You know what I
is
mean?
so awful. Oh my God. Well, here's my if I can move on to my next one because it has to do with food, I could sound even older, I guess.
Please.
But so my food one actually, I don't mean to, do you want to keep talking about Nutella? I don't
No,
mean
we've
to.
already talked too much about Nutella. I don't care about it.
My food one is I don't understand the fascination with like hot Cheetos and like Takis and hot Takis.
Ooh, that's good. But you see, okay, that's interesting because you're kind of like a subject matter expert on this because of the clientele that you work with
Oh.
for your main your main job being a teacher because that's like they love that crap. And I don't understand it, and I like spicy things, but I don't like Cheetos though. So
Oh, first period, 8:30. They're walking in the gym with freaking Takis all over their fingers. I'm like, get out. Like, what are you doing? Go play. Like, you can't, we can't have, they're not allowed to have food in the gym. It's our principal's rule. So I'm just like, get out of here. Like, can I finish eating my Takis? And I'm like, that's your breakfast? And they're like, yeah. And it's not a small
oh yeah,
bag. No, it's a big, like family size bag. And then they finish eating, they roll it up and they put it back in their bag. And I'm like, are you going to eat those all? Like, I'm just like asking questions now. I'm like, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just like, stop feeding your children this crap. But like, I've also never been a Cheetos fan. Um, had it, I just, if I'm gonna have I mean, I like chips. I stay away from them, but like, don't get me wrong. I definitely see why people like chips. I love the sweet salty, but I've never been into Cheetos, especially hot Cheetos. Talking like the hot chips, like I just don't get. I mean, people love them, and I'm just like, I don't want to touch those. To get it away from me. I don't want it on my fingers. I don't want to like smell it. Like, no, I'm good.
I'm almost getting emotional, Deb, because I feel like you and I feel like we've had our differences over the years, but I feel like we're the same person because I don't like Cheetos either.
We're bonding finally. Are we finally friends?
I think we might be friends
We're
as
moved
much
on,
as we fought it.
moved on from co-host to co-friends to friends.
We'll mess it up at some point. This is not going to last very long, but yeah, in this moment, it's nice. Yeah, I
I
don't like. I'll take it
yeah.
one step further. I've told people this before. I have like a because I like cheese, but I'm not like a cheese lover. Like I can't just like grab like a chunk of cheese and just eat it. Like that's gross to me. Like I like grilled cheese, like nachos, stuff like that. But like I don't really put cheese on my sandwiches unless it's a grilled cheese. But specifically when it comes to like the processed like powdered cheese, that grosses me out. So like on the Cheetos, you remember cheese nips?
Oh yeah.
Ugh, yuck. I'm sorry. I remember I had a picture of a cat on the front. It should be cat food because that stuff was disgusting. Just eat some goldfish because goldfish was fine. I love goldfish. I love Cheez Its. That's the extent. That's the extent.
I have to admit, like last year, or maybe I don't know, maybe even up until right before summer, I would just get a box of the Cheez-Its, and they were called burnt Cheez-Its. They were like
Oh, it's a
crispy.
fan favorite. Actually, our kids don't like that. Um,
I
Rachel
those.
and I love them.
Oh, I love those. And so my friend bought it on accident one time, and she's like, I don't like these. And I tried it, and I'm like, oh my God, these are so good. She's like, you can have the whole box. But I
Ooh,
don't buy them anymore.
jackpot.
I'm trying so hard not to eat processed foods. That's been my journey since summer, is no processed foods.
You can tell you're
But
serious about it because you said journey.
it's a journey.
Yeah,
Because it's hard, because it's so good. And like when
sure.
grow up, when that's all not all you have, but like processed food is everywhere, and it's
Sure.
cheap to get when you're pinching pennies. Like you get boxed or canned food or whatever. So that's not to say that's not talking down on anybody or whatever, but I'm just trying not to eat them. But they're
I
so
get it.
good.
I had
Jesus.
McDonald's tonight, so I have no room to talk about this topic at all.
Hey, I had frozen yogurt. It's
That was a different ballpark. That's fine. I appreciate you trying to make me feel better. So
but Yeah, the hot cheese, like the powdered, like the fake cheese, the powdered, like
But people love it. And then it's really gross. And I know you've seen this. I know you've seen this being a teacher when they take the bag and then dump the remains at the bottom. Like that might be the worst part for me. It's like, oh, that's just all that cheese powder and
yeah,
that crumpled up Cheeto. Pass. That's a good one.
it's pretty bad. So anyway, you said a food one, so I'm like, I gotta share my food one.
I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, I have six here, but I'm trying to think which ones. I don't want to do all six. So I did Nutella, did reality TV. Those are and Settlers of Catan. You and I did that one at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one because I saw a comedian post about this today on Instagram, and I thought he basically said everything that I've thought over the last couple of years when it comes to this specific thing on social media. I don't understand the fascination, and there's multiple levels to this, but one, I don't understand why people think it's so funny. Especially, I think it happens with like couples stuff a lot. They'll post these videos where they're trying to imply that this is like a real situation. So it's not, because we all know that like you set the camera up to capture this moment, and then like a couple like kind of act or lives out this situation in front of the camera as like a joke, but it's not a skit necessarily. Like they're trying to pitch it as though it's a real thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like on
And
TikTok, do it.
like TikTok, any of those types of things. And the comedian was like, he's like, why are we doing this? He's like, this makes me so mad because we all know that that we know that this is all set up. You set your camera up in a corner of the room and you guys are pretending like this is real, but we know it's real. And we know it's real. So why are we doing this? I'm like, this is amazing. I need to shout this from the rooftops. He's like, this is silly. He's like, don't insult our intelligence. Don't do that. You know what I mean? And I think it's just a weird thing, but like so many people do this type of stuff. And like I said, it's not the ones that are doing it like as a skit, because that's fine because you're doing a skit, and it's not like an actual hidden camera. It's like you're trying to make it seem like that, but it drives me nuts. And so, I just don't understand why people want to do that, and I also don't understand why it's so popular.
It's well, because it's the element of, like you said, like they're trying to make it seem like it's candid. Maybe people believe it, I don't know, but yeah, it's like the whole, like they start recording and you could see their hands on their phones and they're setting it up somewhere so you could see that they're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and then yeah, a lot of them I'm like, there's no way, because all my friends will send me memes and stuff all the time. I'm like,
Right. And so you're telling me if you're talking about like this couple that's, having some interaction in the bathroom or the kitchen. So you're telling me every time that your partner walks into the frame perfectly and stands exactly where you need to, and you expect us to buy this, even though you should know that like these videos are everywhere and they're just carbon copies of everything. Like, why are we doing this? I guess that's another thing I don't get too along the social media lines is where you remember, like, I don't see it quite as much anymore, but I feel like, and no offense to anybody, because I know we have some people that listen to this podcast and who have been guests on this podcast that do these things. You're very successful, more successful than me. So don't take this personally at all. I just don't understand. But there's the one where people would like throw up a piece of clothing and then jump,
uh-huh.
and then they're all of a sudden wearing that piece of clothing.
Yeah.
And you'd see it everywhere. And at some point, I'm like, we're all just copying the same thing.
It's
But
almost,
yet,
yeah, well, it's almost like a challenge. It's like, I'm gonna try to do this like transition whatever trend,
right.
I think.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're 100% right. So I understand why I guess, like I said, I guess I don't understand it. I don't understand why, you know, I don't understand why you would want to take the time to do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I like the idea of like trying to push the boundaries in the creative bubble a little bit more. Whereas like, I feel like it starts as avalanche of people doing the exact same thing. And some people, you shouldn't do it because you're not at the same level as the people that are doing it well. So, but again, there's probably a reason why our podcast has the amount of followers on Instagram that we do, because we don't do it. Maybe we should. Maybe I didn't take some notes. I don't know.
Maybe Josh should throw his clothes up in the air and try to do that. You should try.
Rachel walks in like, what are you doing? I'm doing a TikTok. Please leave me alone.
TikTok.
I'm desperate.
I've tried
I've been
some
doing
of
this podcasting for a long time.
I've done a few of them over the years. I haven't in a while. And if I do nowadays, if I do, it's mostly I do it to I don't even really post it. I just kind of use the app to make a video. But
Sure.
if my girls and I are on a trip, I'll take lots of videos and pictures of us and I'll put it in because TikTok has that form where you could put it in one video with like music in the background and it's fun, but like I don't post
Sure.
anymore. I barely scroll anymore. That's for sure. But yeah,
And
because it
and like I
tricks
said, I
you.
understand. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, yeah, go ahead. It's like because I think you want to think that they are candid because it makes it like more interesting. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, like at the end of it, it's like how many are candid though? So anyway, yeah, it's definitely it's entertainment, that's for sure.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it comes down to. People just enjoy it. People maybe know they know what it is, and I guess the bottom line is, when it comes to the person who's posting it, if your whole purpose is to get more engagement, because anytime you look at these things, you look at the comments and it's like fake, fake. This is fake. This is so stupid. But again, you're getting views, you're getting likes, you're getting clicks. So maybe that's the point of it. But
Yeah.
you know, it hit me today. I'm like, that is weird. I don't quite understand it. I guess from both sides, I don't understand why this is a fun thing to do, and I also don't understand why people feel the need to engage with it all the time. But that being said, there's probably a bunch of stuff that I engage with on social media, like sports stuff, that people are like, yeah, you watch this live. Like, why are you watching it? Like, but you don't understand. It was really funny the second time too. You know what I mean? So I get that.
Yeah.
It's just a preference thing. So,
Yeah.
but for me personally, I just don't understand those videos. So hopefully that made sense.
Yeah, I did. I was gonna say something earlier about like TikTok dances. So we could I'll just throw that in your category as well.
TikTok dances. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that one of yours?
It was, and then I kind of took it off because I'm like, man, they don't really. I like it doesn't really bother me, and I know
Sure.
I know a lot of people who do them, so it's not like I'm like, oh, I don't want to insult anyone. But like at the end of it, I was like, man, it's not like enough to like talk about. I guess
Sure.
like they're just TikTok dances. But I do have one. Do you want me to? Can I move on to one of mine?
Please.
So I don't know what made me think of this, but like cars and like car shows. I don't know. I don't know what
Okay. Yeah. That's
I
interesting.
think it's because I can hear people like driving down my street in their loud ass cars. I'm like, why is your car loud? Why? Why do you need to drive? Okay, sorry, I'm reaching into pet peeve territory now because when I'm going for a run and a car drives by and it's just so loud. So like I don't know if it's because I don't know what makes it loud. I don't know how cars work. I don't care. But like I don't, and I'm not saying it's just because of me that they're doing it. Maybe they are to get attention or whatever, but all of a
Okay.
sudden,
That was a little bit of a humble brag. Not a big
I'm
deal.
I don't
It's
know.
weird. Every time a car goes past, they honk
Not
or they
every
rev their
car.
engine while I'm running. I don't get it.
Like, I don't hear their car, and all of a sudden they vroom go hella fast past me, and it's really loud. And it's so loud to where I'm listening to something in my AirPods, and I can't hear what I'm listening to. And so I'm like, cool, like your car's hella loud. Congratulations. I
Well,
don't get it. So
I
anyway,
think you understand very clearly, Miss McCollum. I think she understands why the car's doing what they're doing.
not only that, but like people, some people are, I don't know, I know car shows are a thing. I
Sure.
know people are obsessed with cars in general, like the make and model and like whatever. I don't know, I'm just like, I want a car that works, that is going to get me somewhere safe from A to B, and that isn't going to like kill me payment
Sure.
wise.
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know, I guess I don't, there has to be some type of history there or just personal preference, but I don't understand the fascination of like car shows and stuff.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm not a car guy. I'm kind of in the same boat. Um, so I don't quite understand. But again, I relate that. I guess that falls in the category for me of like the country music thing or like soccer for me. Like I don't enjoy soccer, but I understand why people love it. You know, what I mean, I just can't. I have never been able to get there. I feel like the car thing is a car show is kind of the same thing for me. Where I understand why people like it. I personally am not into it. Now I have been to the car show in Sacramento, but that's not like the same thing. It's like where they have all of those cars on display, so you can look at them. But not like it's not like hyped up or
Yeah.
like cars that are it's not like Fast and Furious cars. It's like like it's like, hey, here's our new Rav4. You want to take a look?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we've gone to that before, especially when we were looking for a new car. We went there because it's a little easier to look at the cars, but it's very different. I think the cars you're talking about are like muscle cars,
Yeah.
sports cars, things like that.
Just like, I'm sure I've talked about this before and I won't go over it too, I won't say this story very long because I'm pretty sure I've said it before, but when at this apartment complex like a year or two ago, maybe it was even 2 years ago, my old apartment on the top floor was facing a parking lot, like at the pool and parking lot. And one day it was like it's like a retail parking lot, like restaurants. Some people decided to organize their own car show out there. It was the loudest, most obnoxious, most annoying noises I've ever heard in my life. Like the police had to come and tell everyone
Ooh,
because they're like, you guys are not a business. Like you can't just organize your thing,
right.
whatever you want. It was just weird. It was just all of a sudden like there's hella cars and they're loud and they're revving their engines and they're making all these noise. There are noises that I can't even describe because they were so awful. But anyway, so I just don't understand that. I don't understand the loud noises in cars and what the fascination is with that because it's just, to me, it's annoying. But I mean, again, at the same time, people are probably like, well, I don't understand why you like mermaids so much. That's annoying. So I'm just like, whatever.
Fair point. Fair point, car show people.
Fair and fair enough for you, as you know, if you're thinking that as well. But like, I just with the car, I just don't get it with the loud car thing. But anyway,
Yeah, I'm sure they would understand more if you just saw random mermaids flopping around the city. Like, oh, what is the deal with these mermaids? It's like crossing the street, plop, plop, plop.
hey, it's a thing. Mercon, what's it called? Mermicon in Sacramento. That's a thing.
If okay, Deb, if you this year, because your company, I made this joke a little while ago. Uh, if you don't get your business at that, like a booth at that mermaid con, I don't know why you named it after a mermaid. I'm just gonna say that right now. I think you need to look into that, what it would take, and I'll come with you to help with whatever you need. Because I would need to, uh, I need some material for the next podcast. So I'm making fun of all this. With the exception, I won't make fun of your business, but I'm going to make fun of everything else that's going around. Like, just like this line of mermaid people just waiting to get massaged. And like, this is very strange, but I would like to be there to see it.
Very good business idea.
So I know. So just think about it.
Think
Just think
about
about it. So, and just before we leave the car topic, because I think I have one more.
it.
Before we leave this car show thing, I will say that Catfish Deb from her thumbnail loves car shows. That woman, you can tell she's been to a couple car shows and she's a huge fan. So
That's how creepy I look.
yeah, she seems like the kind of person that would, like, one of the women that would be sitting on top of the cars.
Can't even laugh. My voice was just starting to come back today and I can't laugh.
Oh, good. All right, there you go. Again, that's as far as I'm going to take that. So this is my last one. Yes.
Go ahead.
I have two here. Which one do I want to go with? No, I'm going to go with this one because I feel like this one will be a little bit more controversial. So I'm going to go with this one. Maybe this is because I feel like this is so popular right now, and it's been popular for, I feel like, the last 5 years. I just don't understand why anybody would even engage in this type of content. I don't understand why people love crime documentaries so much. The fact that you made the eyes that you just did creeps me out, because I feel like I can't tell if you're a person who's a fanatic about the documentaries or if you're someone that's going to be featured in a future documentary, because you look terrifying with what you just did with your face.
He's gonna screenshot that now.
I didn't want to screenshot that. I don't need to see that again. That was terrifying. Like, I don't know if that was anger at me, like, how dare you talk about crime documentaries, or it's like, I love them so much, or I love murder. I don't know what the face was.
I don't know what it is about females and their crime shows or crime documentaries or
I was going to say, I didn't want to
podcasts.
say it, but yeah.
Yeah, so I say we because I'm speaking for females or anyone in general who likes them. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but
No,
generally it's girls who are all obsessed with them, and the guys are like, why? I don't know. Maybe we're just bred to be investigators, because we are investigators. I will tell you that we're really good. we're really good at investigating, and no one
Sure.
knows we're investigating. So I think that that's why we're so like entrenched into it. I don't know. I can't explain it. There's something in our DNA that loves true crime and all
Maybe. And
that.
I've heard like podcasts, and usually it's like comedians talking about this, where they're kind of explaining like, why do people love this, specifically women. They kind of took it a different direction that we don't need to go into, but it's, it's a lot of different ways you can look at it. I'm like, I don't get it, but and hopefully it's okay to say, because I think you've mentioned this before. You live alone, and so I'm picturing like you at like 10:30 at night watching one of these things. Is that not creepy to you?
I
Are
will
you
be
cool
very
with it?
I won't watch them late at night. By then I need to
Sure.
I have my Sex in the City on in the background at that time at night.
Sure.
I need
Sure.
my background noise. But if it's like a weekend and I have nothing planned for the day and it's in the middle of the afternoon, I will probably pop on a true crime or a like I'll text my friends and be like, "Hey, what's a good murder documentary that you guys have seen lately? Like shoot me some names." Yeah, but I won't do it at night. That's bedtime. I don't need to go to sleep with those thoughts. I gotta I
Okay.
gotta I gotta put on The Office or Sex in the City. Gotta chase
Sure.
it with lighthearted comedy.
That makes sense, because I'm like, I just imagine people just binging it late at night. Like, why would you do that? This is a horrible thing to go to sleep to. And it
Yeah,
just, like, you can read the article. We know what this person did. I don't need to watch it. I don't need to like watch reenactments or hear more details of it. Like, this person's a bad person. I'm good. I don't need to hear the details. But it's a huge thing. Especially, I feel like it really kicked off with that podcast Serial, right? Once Serial was
there's a lot.
got big, then it really took off from there.
There's lots now.
A
There's so many.
ton, ton.
Crazy. Yeah. It's anyway, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
But
Not for me though. Not for me. That's why it's on my list. I don't get it. Um, but good for you. Good for you, Deb.
I did. I made a face. My eyes got big when he said that. I was like, "Ooh, true crime." I was like, "I like."
Yeah, sure.
It's
Whatever you
been
say.
a
If
while.
that's the reason why your eyes got big, okay. I'm
It's been a
not
minute.
convinced, but let's move on.
Let's move on. Josh is getting weirded out.
A little
Um,
bit.
I'm kind of.
I'm not going to
I
show up for our Halloween episode. I want to be in the
yeah.
same room as you.
I I want to move on to talk about what our DMs said now. Who like
Oh, okay.
our
Perfect.
people. I have a few.
Yeah, because we are,
I think
it
I'm
is
good.
getting late.
I think I was gonna say, and I'm talked out about mine. I want to hear what other people.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Let me pull mine up.
I have a couple. Some of a few friends texted me, a few friends DM'd me, and then I was on the phone with a friend, and she said it, and I took notes. So, um,
Nice.
I have
Okay.
options on how on all that. Do I go first with the thing?
Sure. I can go first. So, like we said, got a couple of new ones, which is fun. Let's go with, okay, so this one is from, let's go with Dadding. His name is Dadding Greatly. Shout out to Dadding Greatly. He said Taylor Swift, Star Trek, and Nutella. So shout out to the Nutella thing.
He said
He
Nutella.
said Nutella. Nothing made me smile bigger than when he said Nutella, because I'm like, that's on my list. So I feel like there's someone out there with me. We've already discussed that, but I'm with you, man. I don't get the fascination with Nutella. Star Trek, I'm not into that either. So I'm with you there as well. I mean, I kind of understand why people enjoy it. It's a big deal. It's been a big deal for a long time. So I get why they enjoy it, but I can't get there. And then the Taylor Swift thing, I know it's a big topic right now.
Big trend topic right
Yeah,
now.
big training. Yeah. And I feel like it's become very polarizing.
Well,
Uh,
it's football season, right? So it's like, of course, people. She just got off her tour, and it's football season.
right. And so, yeah, some people love it. Some people cannot stand it. Um, I'm in the middle. I don't necessarily care. But I understand both sides. I understand why both sides are feeling the way they're feeling. So yeah, so that was a good one. Thank you, Dadding Greatly. Appreciate it, man.
Nice. Okay, it's funny because uh so Miranda said T Swift with so we have another T Swift one. She's
Put
like, I
another
don't
tally on the board.
yeah, T Swift. And that's all she said on that one. And
Not much
then
else needs to be said. We get it.
I know. right? I have three in my DMs. I'll say those and I'll let you say your next ones. And then
Okay,
so
sure.
Miranda said T Swift. Christine, our friend of the pod, said fantasy football with a laughing face. Since
Turns out Deb doesn't get it either, but she still won. So good for her. Deb is not, just so everybody knows. Thank you for that, Christine, because that's obviously a callback to a couple of years ago. Deb won our fantasy football. My family and I have a fantasy football league. We were looking for a 10th person. We couldn't find it. We asked Deb. Now, the first year we asked her, she didn't do very good. The second year, she didn't try at all. And she won the whole thing, which is shameful for my entire family. And she has not spoken to really anybody from my family since that moment. Is that true? My brother, because he's been with me for recordings.
yeah, no one
That's
will. And I mean, you skipped some key points. Not only did I win it, did I try and I didn't do anything. All I did was make my team name. I think that's all I did. I didn't draft anybody. I
yeah,
didn't
you're right.
players around. I don't know who was on my team. I did.
The details don't matter, Deb. The bottom line is you did not even know. And this is okay. Since we're here, we'll talk about it. So we've mentioned this on previous episodes, but it was obviously the fantasy football season wraps up around the Christmas season. And Deb came over to my house and she was talking to my wife and I, and she dropped off a gift, which was very nice, even though I know it came from her closet. And as she was walking, as she was walking out, we said, "Oh, by the way," and I told Rachel before you got there, I said, "I bet she does not even know she won." She did. Deb took it a step further. She's like, "What? I won? How do I log in?" Like, oh my gosh, my family has disowned Deb at one point. And tell me if I'm wrong, Deb. At one point, because you were hanging out with us so much, it was kind of like you were like the adopted Takimoto. You're
Yeah.
disowned now. You are not allowed near my family's house.
I'm not seeing your
When's the
family.
last time you've talked to my mom?
It's been a long time.
She used to like you. She does not anymore. I'm just going to let you know that right now. If you see Glenda Takamoto in the streets, she does not want to see you. She's going to pass by you because she's that offended by it. And she's very competitive. That's where I get it from.
You probably would have fired me as a co-host if like I won money over that or something. If there was money on the line.
Probably. We probably would have just disappeared. Just not invited you to the podcast anymore and just kept the money.
She doesn't even know we're not going to give her the money.
Like, we'll just share this amongst ourselves. She's not going to know. So yes, thank you, Christine, for that. You know, Deb did not. We had to invite her the next year because she was technically the defending champ. So I was like, we had to invite her. She did just as poorly that year as she did the first year. And so we said, okay, you know what? Let's just cut Deb off. Deb doesn't want to do it. We don't want Deb there anymore. And so there we go.
I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I think you guys are just afraid I'm going to win again by doing nothing.
That wasn't it. I think
that was okay.
So anyways, that's the fantasy football story. But yeah, yes, fantasy football. I love fantasy football. I'm not gonna say I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy playing it. I'm not a diehard, but I do enjoy it. Definitely more than Deb. So perfect.
And then one more DM. Here comes my cough.
Here she goes.
My friend Kelly said boba tea, and then she said gross.
Okay, well, you're in good company because I'm just gonna jump in there because I have our friend Paul Marshall who said boba tea. Why do kids love this stuff and the gross little ball things? Fair point, Paul. You're not alone. And my brother Jordan said boba tea. He didn't even Jordan didn't even feel the need to explain anything more. He just said boba tea. So that's 3 for boba tea. And that's a great one. I didn't think about it for my list, but I don't understand. I've had it one time and I'm like, this is gross. This is disgusting. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was signing up for paintballs. Like, why am I drinking this? It's so refreshing. It's not refreshing. I have, these little balls in my mouth. It's not refreshing at all. I mean, what else can you say? Is there a better way to say it? I have boba in my mouth. No, you have balls. So it is.
There you go. The man
all right.
Doesn't want balls in his mouth.
Okay. Yes, I would prefer not. So.
Okay. So those are my DMs. Go ahead. Your turn.
Okay.
and then I have a few texts and notes, and then I'll say them quickly. You don't have to.
Okay, so I have two from Catherine Pasma. I apologize if I said your name incorrectly. I did see that our friend in common was Christine, though, your friend Christine, which
Oh,
makes sense because she said Harry Potter, which I 100% agree.
probably that could be her sister. I forgot her sister's married last name though. That could be her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you. I don't get Harry Potter either. Also, toss in Lord of the Rings. I haven't seen them. I've never seen Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I'm not interested. I've read the first Harry Potter book. That was it. Didn't catch my attention, so I'm with you. I don't get the fascination either, but it's a huge thing. And then she also said, and Twilight. If you know, you know. So shout out to you.
Okay. Okay. Well, because that Twilight, the Twilight books were Christine's that I gave to her. I gotta ask her if that's her sister because I think that's her sister. That's so
I'm
funny.
well because she asked that question. One, I appreciate that you've listened to that episode of the podcast and you know what's going on there. But two, I'm also wondering maybe those were actually Catherine's books. Because if it's her sister, maybe you actually stole someone else's books from Christine.
Probably.
It's just a thought. So Catherine's been like knocking on, Christine's door saying, "Hey, can I get my books back?" I was like, "Yeah, I know it's been like 5 years, but I got to get them back from Deb." So I'm just wondering if there's a connection there. So Catherine, if that's the case, let us know.
I'm gonna text her right now. What's your sister's last name?
Does it bother anybody else here, anybody who's listening, that Deb, when these things come up about Deb just stealing stuff, she just laughs like a psychopath. It's never like, oh, I would. She doesn't even defend herself anymore. She laughs like she finds as like an amusing game. Also,
Yeah.
let's rewind back to her reaction with the murder mystery documentaries. Let's just say it's all adding up. All adding up.
It is her sister.
Shout out to Christine's sister, Catherine.
Right now, I'm gonna say your sister said a comment on our DMs. Okay. All right. Thanks, Catherine.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah.
See, so I'm saying, everybody, the show is so much better when you guys contribute. What's that?
Instead of texting Christy. Oh, she's typing back. Anyway, yeah, that's her sister.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you for the responses. Those were awesome.
Awesome. Okay.
Cool. I have one more. You want me to do my last one?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
Okay, so this one is from my buddy Caleb Zingelman, and it's Calebfornia on Instagram. I don't know if you wanted your business out there, but there you go. Maybe get you a couple extra followers. He put Funko Pop. Now, Caleb, I love you, but I'll say this, I like Funko Pop. I actually have some back here. Ninja Turtles. So I don't know if this changes how you see me, Caleb, but Ninja Turtles, Batman. I about 5 or 6 Funko Pop. Now, if you're talking about how people are getting obsessed over Funko Pop and just have like this massive collection, I'm with you on that. But I can't agree with you fully on the Funko Pop because I do have some. I'd be a hypocrite if I said that I didn't like Funko Pop.
There you go. I know nothing about Funko Pop.
Do you know what it is?
What is that?
Oh, I don't want to get up and grab it. It's like those little like squatty like characters. They come in like a little box, and it's like they do after TV shows.
I think I have one actually. I don't know what it's called. I think I have a little Ariel one, a little mermaid one.
That's surprising.
As a gift, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, so like I said, I think they're cool, but I'm not going out like buying them. The ones I have are gifts. People have given me gifts. So that's interesting. I would love to know the story behind that, Caleb. So if you hear this, let me know what the issue is with the Funko Pops, because that one was like, I was excited to see that one because I'm like, oh, that's not at all what I've expected, but I'm also not sure exactly what your issue is with it. So when you hear this, follow up with us and let us know why you hate Funko Pops.
Yeah, there you go.
But we appreciate you sharing.
Perfect.
All right, what else we got, Deb?
Okay, I'll say mine. I have a few more. I'll say them really quick. So, my she told me to call her old lady friend, my old lady friend Tracy. I call her Mama. She said,
now Tracy, hold on, I'm sorry, Tracy. Maybe we need to rearrange how this relationship works, because we also heard that Deb uses Sensodyne for her very sensitive teeth. So maybe you shouldn't be the old lady friend.
She won't listen. She's
Oh,
she's
so I said that for no reason. All right, go ahead.
the people who know her listen. So that's great. So one of her things was Kardashians. I started cracking up. I was like, I love the Kardashians. And then
With you.
she also doesn't understand. She's like, I don't get social media. She doesn't understand the likes, what people post and why, influencers, how they're making money. And then she went on to talk about the Kardashians and how they make money. And I said, well, it all started with the video for the Kardashians. So,
It's
and
pull up
we
a
go,
PowerPoint of the video.
that's how that started. And
That's how
then
that is super funny though, because I feel like that's always the first thing that people bring up,
I know, right? I know.
which obviously understandably so, but it's just like, so there was a video and that's how it always, so
No,
every time it starts.
it's forever. She knows it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, then I'm gonna word vomit and ramble off what Kaylin sent too.
Shout out to
Anytime I
Kaylin. Now Kaylin's the one that gave us a lot
yeah,
of pet peeves too.
yeah, well, yeah, because I'll text her and I'll tell her the topic and I'll say go, and she will just shoot off, fire off one after the other.
That's
Um,
awesome. Now, before I say anything, does Kaylin listen?
I don't know if Kaylin listens. I could
That's a
ask.
no. Okay, Kaylin, if you do listen,
I
what
don't know if she
you send us
listens.
these lists for these episodes, which we appreciate because it gives us good content. But what happened to the Halloween costume, Kaylin?
I know.
Kaylin,
She
just
got
give us a couple of suggestions. That's all I'm
yeah.
asking. I don't know you, so you know
So she has to listen to this episode now. She's got to wait till the very end to hear her
at
voice.
least this part.
Right.
You don't have to suffer through the rest of it. Just this part.
Well, she started off by saying ASMR. She doesn't get why people like it. It makes her want to, to jump out into the street. She's basically said, she said ASMR. And then she
Okay.
wrapped it off. So now some of these are more like pet peeves too. A couple of them. She said, how we haven't found the cure for cancer. And then she said, chat GPT and AI.
Okay.
And then she says, time, quantum theory, physics, the economy, bro, the Oregon Trail, men in all caps.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Okay. Well, hold on. That's the second time you've mentioned men. One is a pet peeve and one is a things I don't understand. And I think I mentioned this last time. I feel like we can just wrap this up as there's a complaint about men, which is fine. I'm sure it's justified, but I feel like this seems to fit a lot of categories for you. So
Me? I didn't say men. Are you
no, no,
talking
no,
about?
no. I was talking to Kaylin.
Oh yeah, Kaylin.
I'm assuming she's gonna listen.
Last time she
Kaylin, I'm
did.
talking to you. And no, but she said Oregon Trail,
Yes, Oregon Trail.
like the video game.
Yeah, I guess.
All
I know.
right.
You
All
just
right.
put bro, the Oregon Trail with a bunch of question marks and then put men in all caps with a bunch of question marks. And then she says teenage attitude, how Elon Musk can make so much money, the salary of teachers, because she's also a teacher. And then she goes, Donald Trump, Pete's Coffee, and then in all caps, candy corn, all caps, squishmallows, all caps, public displays of affection. And then she says, why do some people like to talk on speakerphone in the middle of the store? Which I replied, that's me, LMAO. And then
Oh, geez. You are old, Deb. What are you doing?
if I don't have my AirPod, I'm not holding my phone up to my ear. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
You're not using it like a regular phone? That sounds ridiculous. Why not?
I'm on speakerphone and I'm just holding my phone in my hand while I walk. I'm not holding my phone up to my ear.
You have very little concern for other people. This is nonsense.
And then she said running in all caps. And then pineapple on pizza. There's a few others.
That's a good one.
Anyway, there you go. There's Kaylin.
I'm concerned that we're becoming Kaylin's diary. Like that's what it feels like sometimes. Like she's just writing all this stuff down. Like, you know what else? So hey, if it helps you, Kaylin, I'm glad. That's what it's starting to feel like a little bit. She said something else in there. What were like the last 10?
Oh God. Candy corn, squishmallows, Pete's Coffee.
Okay, that's perfect. Candy corn, there's nothing to get. They're gross. I'm with you on that.
Oh man, I used to love candy corn. Well,
that's because you're 85 years old. Everything is adding up. I don't believe you're really the same age as me. Like I've made old
people candy, an old people snack.
How is it not? I feel like it was created a very long time ago. And back in the day, it was probably delicious. Like candy corn's delicious. And it continues to make its way through this Halloween season. But really, I think candy corn is like my grandmas have had candy corn, around Halloween time. And sometimes not even Halloween time. It's like that is clearly Halloween candy corn. It's like, yeah, but it's spring, still good. It's never been good. But I feel like between the candy corn, the Sensodyne, you speaking on speakerphone in the middle of a store, just everything is pointing to the fact that you're very old.
Yes, we're missing something too. What else were we missing that I'm old? We said something else.
I
Anyway,
can't remember. It's the. I mean, at this point, the list has gotten insane.
I think I think
The
after
Squishmallows.
I think at the end of each episode we need to do a Kaylin vent session, and she
Yeah.
can just rattle off all the things that irritates her, and
Well,
I can read them.
we'll have to have. You know what? Let's do this. Let's have Kaylin on next time we do a pet peeve episode.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, Kaylin
Okay.
has been on my Not Here to Judge podcast. That was the one when we talked about depression and anxiety. It was
What's
great.
not here to judge? Oh, boom! It's been a very long time, so no one knows what this is anymore.
No one's like, I don't listen anymore. Nicole. So when Nicole was on last week, so the episode that we just released with Kitty from Log Off,
Shout out to
Nicole.
Kenny. Thank you for coming on, by the way.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun having them all here. We had beers. It's a lot of fun. And I miss in person, and I know you do too, but
Sure.
Zoom is just more convenient with our schedules. But
Yeah.
Nicole was like, we need to get, I like how she says we, because she's the entertainment, for Not Here to Judge. She wants to do it again so bad. And I'm like, I know, give me a second. I probably will. It just might take me a second.
Or a couple of years. That
Forgot
depends.
I forgot how to edit. You're gonna have to show me all over again how to release an
No,
episode.
I've already talked to Rachel. I said, just so you know, Deb may need to come back again to go over some stuff.
All that I can tell you,
You
right
should.
now. Here's another old category for me. I already forgot how to do all that.
Yeah. No, we'll figure it out. I can help out with that. Nicole, I know it's been a while since I've done this. Hopefully Nicole is still listening. I think you are, but it's been a while since I've made a plea to you or tried to convince you that you should like me better than Deb, even though you have a friendship with her and all that stuff. I get it. But on that episode you guys did, she revealed that there was 2 or 3 podcasts that she had you guys record and has not posted them because she recorded 3 podcasts that have not seen the air with you guys in Europe.
I don't know
What kind of psychopath does that?
I don't know
Like,
how to
hey,
get it from my
record this
phone.
with me, and then I'm not going to post it. It's like your own private collection, which again points to you being a psychopath. But like, I'm just going to listen to these tapes over and over.
I don't know how to get it from my phone on GarageBand to this, what we're doing right now. You're gonna have to help me with that too.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
We'll go back in time. I'll finally post it, and it'll be like 2 years later.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, cool. All right. Well, it's been a fun episode, I think. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And yeah, did you have any others, or that was it? You ended on that one.
Yeah, we'll in there. That was good. That was it. Those are the other 2 I had were, well, one of them I was going to jokingly, one of them was fantasy football. So I was going to give you a hard time about that, but we already did. And then the other one I had on my list, but I don't really know what to say because I don't know much about it, is anime.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm
Know.
Japanese. It missed me.
Well, I don't you don't even know. I don't know that. I started running out of things because I was like, I don't know enough about it to even like comment on it. But
Sure.
I think what we said was that was plenty. And then I think it was fun reading the DMs of what other people have to say.
Yeah. Well, something you mentioned a while ago, you thought it would be good to do more of that with these types of episodes, especially the top 5s and stuff like that. So yeah, we love having the interactions with everybody. And yeah, so we appreciate everybody who commented. Hopefully you guys continue to do that. And yeah, it's at this point, it's not too late to get your suggestions for Halloween costumes. By the time this airs, it's 100% too late because I'm going to have mine already. So there you go. You missed your chance. And let me think, is that it? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to say there's one last thing, one last little thing I don't get. We don't have to talk about this for very, very long. People who just are obsessed with dipping stuff in ranch dressing. I don't get the obsession with ranch dressing. Like, pizza is delicious by itself. You don't need to smother it in ranch dressing. Like, especially, and I know, Jordan, I know you're listening to this and you've said this before. It's a problem when a grown person is dipping their pizza in ranch dressing because it's like, that's what kids do, because kids dip stuff in sauce all the time, but you're a grown person. This pizza is fine the way it is. You don't need to add ranch dressing to it. This is crazy. You know what I mean? Vegetables, fine, that stuff. But like, Everything, every little thing. It's crazy to me.
I taught my 3.5-year-old nephew how to dunk things in ranch. So you're welcome, to my sister.
Well, that's okay because he's 3.
I taught him how to. Now that's all he does. I like dunking my pizza in ranch, but that's about it.
That makes sense.
Everything in ranch.
All right. Well, there we go. See, like I told you, we had a nice moment in the middle of this podcast where we came together, and then now we've split ways. So it was nice. Our
Nice
friendship was nice while it lasted.
Back to normal.
Back to normal. Speaking of back to normal, Deb, where can they follow us on social media and all those places?
You guys can follow us on Twitter at Connectable Pod, and then on all other social media platforms at Connectable Podcast.
Yep. And you can find us on all podcast platforms. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please give us a 5-star rating and review. We would definitely appreciate that. We've been stuck on 22 ratings and reviews for a while. One person that I don't know, but we follow this like Facebook group for podcasters, and they said, hey, if you check out mine, I'll, like, not, that wasn't like a I'll show me yours, I'll show you mine. It wasn't a situation like that, but it was, kind of like, hey, review mine and we'll review yours. And so like, all right, cool. They said they reviewed it and they showed like a screenshot, but I don't think they actually submitted it because we're still stuck on 22. So that person, you're a liar and we don't appreciate it. And so, and I did leave a review for your crappy podcast. Now I wish I would have done it. So
you tell
there you
them.
Go. Huh?
I said, you tell them.
I do. They're not going to hear this, but made me feel good. And anyways, yes. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We're seeing a lot of growth there, even though we've made fun of YouTubers quite a bit because they continue to want to comment on stuff that we post. And I don't understand why. So, and one guy on there used to date Deb. Not a big deal, but that guy was great. And so
allegedly, but okay, we'll just go with that.
I don't know. I'm going to take him at his word. He seemed trustworthy. He didn't have a picture on his avatar, but it's just like a video game controller, but he seemed trustworthy to me. That's all I'm going to say. So on that note, just everybody know everything's going to be just fine. It's fine. So have a good week. We'll talk to you next time. See ya. Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable Podcast.